أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abdullahi, and you can find me on my TikTok channel at Abdullahi ibn Dawood, and on Facebook at Abdullahi ibn Dawood, and on my YouTube channel as Official Abdullah 4013. Alright, so welcome you officially to this month of Ramadan, all brothers and sisters in Islam. So today we'll be talking about the things that nullify or spoil fasting in this month of Ramadan. As a Muslim believer, there are some of the things you need to be conscious of while carrying out the fasting in this month of Ramadan. This is the 9th month in the Islamic calendar. It's the month that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept separate, that has much of blessing and the time that every servant or Muslim have to reconcile and come closer to his creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the month where Allah make the gate of hell is being shut down, and the gate of rahmah, of blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is being open to everybody. So I'm advising we should make use of this month. We should utilize our time in terms of fasting and what you said, and develop a good relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala throughout this month of Ramadan. So general rules for things which break our fast. We are going to look at the general rules of things which break our fast. Alright, so things that break fast during Ramadan must check 3 conditions. Things that break fasting during Ramadan must check 3 conditions. So one condition is that the person knows that it break the fast and is not ignorant of it. One of the rules is that the person should know that it is fasting and he shouldn't be ignorant of it as well. Number 2 is that the person is conscious. The person is conscious of what he is doing and has not forgotten that he or she is fasting. So these are the conditions. Number 3 is that the person does it of his own free will. When you're fasting, you know that you're doing it of your own free will, and it's not being compelled. You're not being forced to do it. Yeah? It's a choice you make on your own. So these are the things you must consider in carry out fasting, so that you not go to do other things that will spoil the fasting as well. Alright, so if all 3 conditions are fulfilled, then the action has broken, and the action has broken, the fast and one should seek for forgiveness. If all these conditions are being carried out effectively, and you carry out an action that could break your fast, all you need to do is to seek for Allah forgiveness. When you know that you are fasting, you are conscious that you are fasting, and you mistakenly maybe drink a little amount of water, your fasting is still valid. All you need to do is to seek for forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So below, we are going to list 10 things which break the fast. I'm going to list out 10 things that break the fast. There are two categories of things which break the fast. The first being things injected into the body, and the second thing is the thing expelled from the body. There are things that break the fast. Number 1 thing is that the things that inject into your body, either by eating, swallow, or injecting. And number 2 is the things that are expelled, the things that you come out from your body. So we are going to look at number 1, the things injected into the body which break fast, like eating. When you're fasting and deliberately eat food, your fast is being invalid, is counted invalid. Number 2 is drinking of any nature, either water, drinks, any of nature. Any solvent is you swallow or you drink has render your fasting invalid. So number 2 is medicine or injection pill. Medicine or injection pill. All these things, they render fasting invalid. Pill or transfusion, blood transfusion. During your fasting, it's prohibited to carry out blood transfusion. Number 4 is kidney dialysis. where blood is recycled back and put into the body. There's something we call kidney dialysis. So it's a situation whereby the blood is recycled back and put into the body from the kidney. The second category refers to action which lead to the body fluid from the body expelled. The second action is the body fluid expelled from the body. This also will break the fast, including sexual intercourse. When you're carrying out fasting and you had a sexual intercourse with your wife, your fasting is rendered invalid. Sexual intercourse is one of the things that is allowed. It's allowable for a husband and wife, but there are certain conditions that is not allowed, especially during fasting. When you're fasting at daytime, you're having sexual intercourse which was already permissible by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it become invalid because that's the time you're observing your fast. So you shouldn't have that such kind of act with your wife, despite the fact it is being legal. You understand? So you could perform it at the end of the fast, maybe after you have break your fast, you have eaten at night. You are allowed to do so before sahur time, before as-salatu. You understand? So you can be able to carry out those activities not during the fast hour. It is allowed or permissible after the fasting hour. So number 2, we have masturbation. There are some people that have all this act of masturbating. People who are addicted to like pornography movie. There are some people who are addicted to pornography movie, or they just have this psychological way of thinking of as if they are having intimacy. They begin to create this picture of being with a lady on bed, or creating some kind of imagination as regard to sexual activity such as foreplay or things of that nature. So they will begin to masturbate themselves to a point that they bring out what they call semen or ejaculate. So when you carry out these particular acts, automatically your fasting is rendered invalid. So these are some of the things we need to be conscious of in this month of Ramadan, so that our fasting will not be counted invalid, will not render invalid. All our struggling, abstaining from food from morning till evening should not go on count. Okay, so my brothers and sisters in Islam, I'm advising that we should be conscious of some of these acts which invalidate our fast. Number 3, we have menstruation. Menstruation is a monthly flow of blood in a woman. This is a time where ladies menstruate, like they release blood from their body. It's not a disease, it's a natural thing. It's something natural, it's something natural. So at this particular point, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted the permission to take a break. They're allowed to take a break so that they could be able to, it's like something of nature. It's not a sickness, it's something of nature. So at this particular point of time, they are being allowed to take a break from fast until they pass out the period of their menstrual cycle or menstruation period. Mostly it's 3 to 4 days, some 2 days, some 3 days, some 1 day. So whatever the case may be, they are allowed to, the ladies or the women are allowed to take a break. So number 4, we have vomiting. If done deliberately, some people just force themselves to vomit. When you do it deliberately, your fasting is counted invalid. So we have to be conscious of some of this action as well. We should not make our effort go unrewarded. Number 5, we have postnatal bleeding. Postnatal bleeding. Postnatal bleeding is a bleeding that occurs when a lady is in pregnancy or she has given birth. There are sometimes a lady have this health issue after giving birth or in pregnancy. You see blood flowing from their body. So this kind of period, a lady is allowed to take a break from her fast so that she could be able to repay back after the fasting. So these are some of the actions that we need to put in mind and be conscious of as well. We have cupping of blood or blood donation. For blood donation, there's different of opinion. There are some people, depend on the ulama, that talk about this blood donation. Some say that giving blood or during taking out blood donation at this month of Ramadan is invalid. It will make your fasting invalid, but I don't have much knowledge on that, so I would like to just mention the facts that these are some of the action as well we need to be conscious of. The Quran has verses mention rules for Ramadan. See this ayat in the article, especially in the Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah of number 187. It gives us a clear ruling to abstain from sexual activity during this month of Ramadan at fasting hour. During the fasting hour, we are allowed to abstain from sexual intercourse. Activity during the month of Ramadan, and to avoid drinking and eating until sunset. You are allowed to eat before sunset. You understand? Like in the night, anything from 7 p.m. down to 4 or 5:20 or 5 o'clock. You're allowed to eat. People don't understand the full meaning of Ramadan. Ramadan is not to starve yourself to death. No, it's to abstain, to refrain from food for a short period of time, so that you could perform an act of worship that you wouldn't have done it if you were eating. Some people, there are some of the conditions you undergo when you are fasting. You begin to understand how people feel who doesn't have food. When you starve yourself for that particular hour, you begin to understand the situation some people are into when they don't have food. You too will say, okay, you feel like after the fasting or during the fasting, you could be able to assist some people who does not have food. And it's a way of discipline. Things you do regularly, the stomach, you give it food all the time. There are some mechanical action that take place in the stomach. So in this month of fasting, the stomach has a relief of those kind of activity as well. So fasting is like a discipline, a self-discipline for every Muslim and every individual. It's a month of forgiveness. It's a month of developing, establishing a strong, solid relationship with your Creator, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. It's a month that you see in a mosque that different people who have not seen for a long time, they come together to perform an act of worship. And it's a month where people have the opportunity mostly to do charity. Some people cook food to give to the less privileged. Some people donate material and money, things of that nature. So not every other person, not everyone have the opportunity to do it, but people make effort, they try to see how they could be able to carry out this thing, most especially in the month of Ramadan. So you can see that the month of Ramadan is a month of great blessing, and most important of it is that is the month which the Quran has been reviewed in the night of Laylatul Qadr. Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. So it's the month in which the Quran was being revealed. So for every Muslim, it's a great day for every Muslim. It's a special month that packages a lot of blessing. So it's the month that people should endeavor to make sure that every day they get intimate with the Quran. They get used to reading the Quran. They get used to going and making research, understanding the Quran, reading ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that every letter you read from the Quran, you will be blessed. So you see, it's a month of great blessing. It's a month of great blessing. So what is permissible with your spouse is kissing, hugging, and embracing, as long both can control your desire. So what is allowed in this month of Ramadan is you can kiss her, you can hug her, you can embrace her, as long as both of you can be able to control your desire. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was said to be affectionate while keeping his fast, but he was able to show self-restraint from escalating further. In the month of Ramadan, he was said to be affectionate, but he showed restrain from some kind of act as well. So hadith on Ramadan, Abu Huraira reported, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu reported that Allah's messenger are saying, Allah has exalted and majestic, Allah the exalted and majestic said, every act of the son of Adam is for him. Every act we do in this world is for us. We know the reward of it, except fasting. Nobody knows the reward of fasting. So all the action we are carrying out in this world, we have is for us. We are doing it for, if you pray, you do it for yourself. Your prayer does not increase Allah in any form or way. It does not exalt him in any way. We are doing it for ourselves. If we obey him, we do it for ourselves. If we respect our parents, we do it for ourselves. If we go to work, we do it for ourselves. If we hustle to make money, we do it for ourselves. But he said, except fasting. It is exclusively meant for me and I. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is letting us know that fasting is exclusively made for him. Only him. Fasting belongs to him alone. Will reward it, and him alone is going to be the one to reward us. So fasting is a shield. When any one of us is fasting on the day of Ramadan, he should neither indulge in obscene language, nor raise his voice, or if anyone revive him, or try to quarrel with him, he should say, I am fasting. So these are some of the things we need to be conscious of in this month of Ramadan. Whoever try to fight you or cause trouble, tell him that, please, I am fasting. So there are some of the questions that people ask, that accidentally eating or eating while fasting. That if they accidentally drink or eat while fasting, how do they do? You know, eating and drinking intentionally will break the fast. However, it should be sincerely forgotten and eat or drunk out of forgetfulness. Your fast is not broken. I'll come again. Eating and drinking intentionally will break the fast. However, if you sincerely forgot and eat or drank out of thoughtfulness, your fasting is not broken. If it is out of thoughtfulness, your fasting is not broken. Then some people ask, brushing your teeth. This yeah, you know, some people say when you're fasting, when you brush your teeth with toothpaste and clean, your fasting is being counted invalid. This does not have the possibility of breaking your fast. Now, it will only break your fast if it reaches the back of the throat, or if it reaches the stomach without you having swallowed the water or paste. You know, when you're brushing your teeth, and you know there are points you brush your teeth, you put water to rinse your mouth and pour it out. So as long as the toothpaste and the water is not being swallowed down to your throat, your fasting is valid. Your fasting is valid. You and after iftar, but if you fast. Some people ask question that what about using the inhaler during fasting? Those people that have this asthma, you know, asthma is a health problem. So they were asking that if they use the inhaler during fasting, what is the condition of their fasting? You know, if you are medically prescribed, it will not break your fast. You know, it will not break your fast because you know, some doctor will prescribe to you that for you to stay healthy, you know, to use this inhaler. So during fasting, you can be able to use your inhaler. It does not affect your fast. So people were asking that, what about injection? Does injection invalidate fast? You see, injection, taking nutritional injection does not break the fast. So my brothers and sisters, with this I would like to draw the curtain for today. I would like to advise our brothers and sisters in Islam that this month of Ramadan will come once in a year. So make use of this month very well. Fast as if you will never observe any Ramadan again. Pay attention, read your Quran, do more of istighfar. There's tawbah, do more of istighfar. Develop a strong relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Repent from your bad things and reconcile with the people who hurt you and the people you hurt in the past. So our video will be available on TikTok at Abdullah Ibn Dawood, on Facebook at Abdullah Ibn Dawood, and on YouTube, on my YouTube channel as official Abdullah 4013. Please go like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and share the like as well. Thank you once again, my brothers and sisters. Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem. Thank you, mashallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Thank you. Thank you.